Welcome to today's edition of Blue Streak Spotlight. I'm your host, Art Antram, and we're here with Tony and Matt Mihalic from JCU Track. Well, first, guys, let's take a look at something you guys have done over the years. I'm sure you guys have raced each other numerous times, and your times are very close that I've been looking at. You know, talk about maybe a couple of those finishes. You know, what do you guys do? Is there a competition between the two of you?
Okay, just how close were you looking at those finishes?
Well,
I'm kidding. No, when twins, usually when you find twins, like, they don't like to compete, and especially on the track team, you don't like to compete against each other, but more with each other. I'd like to have it so that we are competing with each other against the other teams in the OAC, but other than that, it's hard to compete with somebody because that would get tiring, but it's easier to compete with someone rather than against them.
Well, fair enough. And you know, my next question comes back to you as well, Tony. There's been a good buzz around John Carroll track and field this year. Speak to that a little bit.
Okay, well, I mean, when I was a freshman, I was one of the original only freshman men on the track team, and now we've got like 35 guys on the track team. So to have that depth is so important for us, and it makes it so much easier to like throw ourselves around in the OAC so that we really can make strides. And when you walk into a meet and you wear that JCU uniform, everyone knows who you are.
Sure. Well, let me ask you, either of you guys, if you could play any other sport here at John Carroll, what would it be specifically?
Well, I already tried my hand at basketball, so check that off the list. Got track now. I guess I'd like to try my hand at football. You know, it seems like these days, Greg Paulus, I know a couple guys now, Janathan Bullock, they're going into the draft. I think maybe I can see after a couple years of basketball, try for football, basketball, track, not football.
Well, I'm sure football translates with track and basketball, speed, agility. You've got that covered. I mean, football, you know, the hard-nosed part, maybe you're just tougher than we all know.
Plus, I've seen Invincible too many times. Going to the NFL.
Well, there you have it. Well, Matt, one more time with you. What celebrity or athlete, or famous person in general, would you least like to see in a track uniform?
Ooh, those are pretty revealing. I don't want to see too much fuzz or too much flab, so probably Will Ferrell. You got to steer clear of the track uniform, something like that.
Well, but, I'm sure that Will Ferrell would make it funny in general, wearing it.
Yeah, so you know, it would be nice to see him out on the track meet, but not in a track uniform. So
we might have to get him on the phone and see what he can do.
Yeah,
swing around University Heights here.
You know, though, if I were to see an athlete who I'd like to see in a track uniform, I'd like to compete against Michael Phelps. Just because he's such a famous, like, well-decorated athlete, and swimmers and runners don't usually tend to be the same people. So if I raced him, I'd like to get some bragging rights. Maybe I beat Michael Phelps in a race.
Very nice. Well, plus, as far as I know, they don't have any special like track suits that you can use, as opposed to in the pool where they have
exactly.
Swimsuits.
You take away all the mechanical doping, is whatever they call it.
There you have it. Well, final question, and either of you guys can answer this one. I mean, being that you're twins, I'm sure you have unique answers for this, but. Being twins, it must be kind of a trip for you guys sometimes, especially being a university. April Fool's, a holiday, must be the best holiday for the two of you guys. I mean, don't be too revealing, but let's speak to that a little bit.
Well, actually, one of my favorite things about being on the track team with Matt is in our last year we were on the 4x1 together, and I'd hand off from third leg to fourth leg to him. So sometimes we like to think about, like, what if one of us just ran 200 rather than one and just did a little switcheroo and, pulled a fast one on everyone at the meet. But, that's always one of the things that we'd like to see as twins, is twins pulling that off, like in a relay.
Sure. And same goes for you, man?
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like every day is a little bit of April Fool's Day because I don't know how many people that I don't know come and say hi to me, but I just have to assume Tony's role is such a popular guy. So I just kind of have to, until they leave, just pretend that I'm Tony Mihalic for a little bit.
Well,
so.
I'll tell you what, there have been a few occasions where I've seen, I thought it was you on campus, but I was really, giving Tony a smile, and Tony's looking at me like, yeah, he must be thinking of Matt at this case. So
well, we do have that agreement, and it's been going on for 4 years now. It's just, instead of the conversation and explaining and that awkward, that awkward connection.
Give him a good hello.
There you have it. That's the most.
Like you've always known them. Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us here on Blue Streak Spotlight. I appreciate your time for coming down here.
Thanks
for
having us.
In North Carolina.
Thank
I'm sure
you.
You guys will have a great time.
Thank you.
And folks, thanks for joining us here on Blue Streak Spotlight. I'm Art Antram.